Whenever you have to perform a very big task, divide it into smaller chunks, because the problem many people experience is that whenever they have to perform a really massive task and they have to get huge results, they get overwhelmed, because in their minds this particular task is insurmountable, it's overwhelming, and this is what triggers procrastination, because you associate a lot of pain to take an action, okay? And then you procrastinate, you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, or I'm gonna do it someday. And as you know, someday and tomorrow never come. And you end up procrastinating, and then eventually when you hit that threshold, when you know that you just have to do it, that's when you basically take action. Now, what I believe in is that it's much better to take that monster task and divide it into smaller chunks and reward yourself after the completion of each chunk, because what's going to happen is that you will trigger immediate action. Because, for example, let's say that you have to write a 20-page report about that new process in your company. It seems like an overwhelming task. It's a technical process, you have to write 20 pages, that's a lot. You may say to yourself, well, maybe I have to do more research, maybe I need to wait a little bit more, learn more about the topic before I take any action. However, when you divide it into smaller chunks, for example, into 10 steps, okay, and each step is basically about writing 2 small pages, it becomes much easier, because what's going to happen is that suddenly you will feel compelled to take action right away. I mean, after all, you just have to write 2 pages, not a big deal. But interesting things will happen. You will get into this action mode, you will start writing, and after completing the first 2 pages, you will reward yourself with something small, for example, a nice dinner, maybe you call up your friend. And what you may realize is that when you get that momentum, you will not even want to finish. You will just keep going and keep writing, because once you get into this mode, once you get into the momentum, you actually feel like, you know, you want to keep going, you don't want to stop. And I'm sure you had situations in your life when you had to perform that really big task and you were procrastinating for a long time, and then eventually you said to yourself, you know what, okay, I'm just gonna do it for 10 minutes. And then once you get into it, once you feel the momentum, you just keep doing it for hours and hours and hours, because you're actually enjoying the process. So if you're one of those people who find themselves, and by the way, it's the majority of people, like 99% of people, if you find yourself in those situations when you feel overwhelmed by massive tasks and you just don't take action, you procrastinate, take that task, divide it into smaller chunks, take action right away, build the momentum, reward yourself after the completion of each chunk, and you will see some amazing things happening.